Hey everyone, and welcome back. So today we're going to take a look at some other great games currently available on Playasia, either for picking up right now or pre-ordering. Now more and more lately, I've been poking around on Playasia, not only because sometimes they have physical versions of games that are just not available in North America, but also because sometimes they've got some great prices on games that are available here. And now since they have that free shipping for over $100, if you can save $15, $20 on each one of your Switch pickups, overall, it can really add up. And don't forget, if you want to pick up any of these games for yourself, I will be leaving affiliate links down below. It's a great way to help the channel out and get to your favorite games at the same time. So now let's jump in. Just remember, if you are liking the content, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Now first for today, let's start with a double pack that I think a lot of people don't even know exists, and that is Enter and Exit the Gungeon for $31.99. Now first of all, regular versions of just Enter the Gungeon are still going for more than $60 online. So getting this double pack with not only that game included, but also its follow-up, Exit the Gungeon, is an excellent pickup for only $32. Now if you don't know what these two games are, well, Enter the Gungeon is pretty much one of the best bullet hell dungeon crawlers we have on the Nintendo Switch. And it's definitely a game that becomes very addictive very quickly and also will keep you engaged for a ton of hours. Now, Exit the Gungeon, on the other hand, has a totally different playstyle, where you're basically riding a high-speed elevator, trying to stay alive and basically make your way out of the dungeon. Overall, if you like pixel art, a great soundtrack, and challenging gameplay, this double pack is a great pickup for this price. Now, second for today is an awesome game that I think is going to be on a lot of people's Christmas lists, and that is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge Anniversary Edition that is only $25.99. Now, first of all, the only way you can actually pre-order this right now is from LRG. Now, there is supposed to be a standard retail release coming to the West, and it should be hitting mid-December. However, from all the information I've gathered so far, it's actually going to be selling for more expensive than this version. However, oddly enough, this one is supposed to be releasing earlier on November 30th in Asia, and if you actually order this right now, there's a good chance you'll be getting it almost at the very same time. I don't think this game needs any introduction. It's basically a throwback to the side-scrolling beat-em-up TMNT games that we grew up with in the 90s. And ultimately, it is one of the best beat-em-ups we have on the Nintendo Switch. Now, if you're wondering what's special about this Anniversary Edition, it's that you're basically getting the DLC automatically included, meaning you'll automatically have the survival mode, as well as the two new playable characters, Usagi and Karai. Now, even though I have the original version of this physical release, I almost feel like double dipping and grabbing this Anniversary one as well. Our next game is actually a game that is easily available in North America. However, the price right now in Playasia is really good, and that is Xenoblade Chronicles 3 that is currently only $39.99. Now so far, this beats all the deals I've seen on a physical version of this game. And as I said at the beginning of the video, don't forget, if you order for over $100, shipping is free, so you can actually save some money picking up the version from Playasia. Now, the Xenoblade Chronicles series is one of the best JRPGs we currently have on the Switch. And if you were unaware, this is the latest entry in that series. Although I do think that most people that will be interested in this deal have played the previous two Xenoblade Chronicles, you can still pick this one up as a first entry. Just some of the throwbacks might mix you up a bit. But deals like this are definitely one of the main reasons I'm starting to look at Playasia on a regular basis. Now, could this one drop lower on Black Friday? Definitely, but if you want to pick it up right now, I think $39.99 is still going to be a very tough deal to beat. Now, the next game for today is really one directed at indie collectors, and that is Trigger Witch, that is still available on Playasia in its physical version for $29.99. Now, I'm saying that this is definitely a deal pointed directly at indie collectors, because if you just want to play Trigger Witch, wait for the next eSHOP sale. You can pick it up for a really low price, under $10 generally. However, if you're like me and you like to have physical versions of some of the best indie games on the Nintendo Switch, then you can definitely look at picking this one up at $30. The price isn't too outlandish. Now, this game is basically a mashup of a Zelda-like adventure and a twin-stick shooter combat system. However, the pixel art is fantastic, the soundtrack is very good, and the overall adventure is a really fun one. Lastly, I don't think they printed that many physical versions of this game, meaning that if you do want to pick it up, I wouldn't wait too long. Now next, I want to talk about a series that we actually covered in one of the latest eShop deals videos, and that is the Gunvold series. Because currently, you can pick up pretty much every entry in the series physically on Playasia for lower than they're currently selling on Amazon. That is all except for Mighty Gunvold Burst, which was really an LRG exclusive, and currently I can't find anywhere else than on the secondhand market. Now, the Gunvold series are 2D action platformers that take a lot of inspiration from the general Mega Man formula. However, at the same time, they inject a lot of original mechanics and some very fast-paced gameplay. As I said earlier, currently you can pick up the Striker Pack, which is a double pack featuring the first 2 games for $41.99. You can then pick up the third entry in the series, which is also the latest entry, currently at $39.99. And then lastly, if you want to jump into the offshoot, which is the Luminous Avenger series, with both IX1 and 2 at individually $36.99 and $39.99. Although some of those prices might seem somewhat high, they generally sell around $60 on the secondhand market and on Amazon. Now, our next game for today is actually available as a physical version in Japan, however it's being published in North America under a totally different name. Now that game is Frederica, which in North America will be published under the name Silent Hope, and currently you can pick up a physical version for $35.99. Now first of all, this game has actually already released in Japan, although it hasn't released yet in North America, which will be on October 3rd. However, at least for the moment, there is no physical version planned for North America, so right now, if you want a physical version of this game, you have to pick up the Japanese version, and don't worry, English is on the cartridge. Now this is actually a game that I'll be picking up a physical version for myself, and it is ultimately a great mix of an action RPG with roguelike elements, where you get to adventure through the dungeons with 7 different playable characters, each with their own moveset and special abilities. Now what I loved about this game is it is super easy to get into, and although it's not what I would necessarily call an easy game, it is nonetheless, I would say, on the easier side of a roguelike. And as long as you level up your characters properly before taking on the next level of the dungeon, you can generally progress pretty safely. Now, I really think this game is going to be a sleeper hit of 2023, and I would say that the main thing holding it back is if you're not into the chibi art style. If you are, however, or you can at least tolerate it, there's a great game here. Now for our last game for today, I am slightly cheating because theoretically it is a pre-order and it's releasing at the beginning of 2024, but it's also a game that I'm taking a slight chance on. And that game is Slave 0X that you can currently pre-order for $26.99. Now when I'm saying that I'm taking a slight chance here, it's that technically I haven't played this game on the Switch yet. However, there is a playable demo available on Steam, and I have played through that, and you know what? I really like the game. Ultimately, it is a side-scrolling beat-em-up, however one that plays out on one and only plane. Think sort of along the lines of Ninja Saviors. The game, however, has some awesome 3D rendered backgrounds that gives you the illusion of moving in 3D, although you really never are. And the combat system is a combo-based one that almost feels like fighting game inputs, with a heavy reliance on juggle combos that I really can't wait to get more deeply into. Now, although the demo on Steam is only 3 levels, those 3 levels have convinced me that I definitely want to play through this full game. In reality, the only true risk we're taking here is not knowing how exactly it's going to run on the Switch. Yet being a 2D based game, although not for its backgrounds, I still think it'll fare pretty well. I'm also not taking the chance that the price on this one is going to go up because I really don't see it going down. So that's it for our great pickups from Playasia for today. Now let me know what games you're picking up in the comments down below, and what games should I be checking out for maybe future episodes. And on the way out, don't forget that if you did like the content, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and click on that notification bell so you know when all my future content comes out. And as usual, hope I'll see you in my next video.